Hi everyone, it's Kerry from Lone Life Designs and I'm back with a pick a card reading. So this is just a anytime reading. Whenever you find this is the exact right time that you need the message from this reading. So pile 1, we have a hematite elephant. Pile 2, now then, it's some kind of jasper, but I'm not entirely sure which one it is. If you do know, let me know in the comments. But it is a jasper skull. And here we have just some tourmaline, some black tourmaline. Okay, so if you'd like to take a deep breath. Is there a pile that is speaking to you? You might want to close your eyes for a minute. You might need to take more than one deep breath. Whatever you need to do, feel free to pause the video and come back when you've selected your pile. Okay, so pile number 1. Can I fit the card in with the elephant? Not quite sure. Go. Okay. So pile number 1, let me just pop you all in. There we go. Okay, so I can see that you're moving forwards from something. So you're moving from some quite rough, turbulent times, probably something connected to emotion. So very, very kind of choppy and up and down, and you didn't really know where you stood with things. But I do feel like it looks like you're heading for smoother water now. So you are heading towards obviously some calmer times, but with this card coming up, actually with both of these cards coming up, it really shows that you're having to make a decision and that you're having to sort of make decisions about how you move forwards. So this card is all about kind of trying to decide between your heart and your head. You know, it could be, for some reason I'm getting relationship stuff coming up, so it may not be that for you, but for somebody out there, it definitely is something to do with relationships. You know, your heart is saying one thing and your head is saying another. And I would imagine, again, there's an awful lot of water here. There's a lot of emotion going on. So whether this is a relationship that's been ongoing for quite a long time, maybe it's something you feel incredibly deeply about, but what I want to say is listen to the advice that you're getting, not necessarily from other people. It's very difficult to kind of imagine, when you're on the outside, imagine what the person in that situation is going through. So I'd say this is more to do with spirit guides. Now this card, only in this deck, this card really reminds me of spirit guides. And I think it's because it's this person sort of coming in here on the side, and we don't know who they are. We don't know who this hand belongs to. So this person here is deciding something. You know, they've got their future in their hands here, and it's really time that they sort of go within, really listen to what it is that your guides are telling you. Whether it's past loved ones, whether it's angels, whether it's spirit guides that you've met maybe in meditations or something, I really feel this is a real go within card and try to work out what it is that you need to do and the advice that they're giving you, because I can really see it has been really turbulent. You know, this person here does not look happy, and again, this is really reminding me of your guide, you know, steering you in a direction where there will be smoother waters. So I hope that makes some kind of sense to you. If you'd like a more in-depth reading, I will pop my website below, and it's very easy to navigate. You can just go through, look at the readings that I offer, see if anything appeals to you, and take it from there. So group number 1, pile number 1, yeah, I just really hope that you get this resolution, you get this decision made, and you can start to move forward to happier, calmer times. Okay, so pile number 2. Let me just get you in frame. There we go. Okay. So what I'm getting with this pile number 2 is, okay, so it seems almost like they need to be swapped. Sometimes this happens. Okay, again, I'm thinking possibly relationships. But we'll see. We'll see what comes as we go along. Okay, so the Ten of Swords. Now this card is all about endings, obviously. That's quite apparent. Kind of feeling as low as you can possibly feel. You know, you really have hit rock bottom, and whether this is slightly in the past for you or whether it's current, I really feel for you, pile number 2, because it's a horrible, horrible situation to be in, and it's such an awful feeling. So the first thing I want to say is reach out to somebody, because you're not on your own. People understand how you feel. Whatever the situation is that's made you feel like this, whether it's a relationship or whether it's something completely different, somebody you know will know how you feel. So that's kind of the first thing I want to say. But what I also want to say is that this is the worst it is. It won't get worse than this. So you can now rise up from that. You know, imagine this person, imagine if this was a cartoon. This person has been stabbed in the back. It may be that you've been stabbed in the back. But this person has been, you know, it's over for this person. So the way I always see this card is that you can't quite see it, but his soul is rising out. So it's your chance for a new beginning now. Something is over, something is gone. Don't look back. Don't look back in anger, just popped into my head. But don't give it any more of your time. It is not worth it anymore. Whoever has made you feel like this, or whatever situation has made you feel like this, you're over it. It's done, it's gone. Yes, it still hurts, of course it still hurts. But deep down you know this can't keep going on. I cannot keep feeling like this anymore. So from this, you rise up to this, which is the Hanged Man, and this is all about seeing things from a different perspective. So yes, you might be not lying in the snow, face down, blood everywhere. Awful, absolutely awful. But can you look at the situation from another point of view? Can you look at, instead of this situation happening to you, it's happening for you. What are you getting from this situation? Something has ended that you didn't want to end. But what is the positive that you can take from that? What have you learned on your way or on that journey to this position? Have you learned that certain people will stick to you, with you through thick and thin? Have you learned that you can really only rely on yourself? Have you learned that actually this wasn't the relationship you thought it was? You know, what is it that you have learned, and how can you kind of turn this tragedy, this disaster, this awful feeling, how can you turn that around so it's actually working for you? Because what's lovely about this reading is that your last card is the Two of Cups, and that is all about making connections with other people. It's all about bringing or new people coming into your life who are going to offer you something. See how they're offering each other their cups. So there's this mutual respect here. There's this mutual kind of love. It might be friendship, it might be romantic love, it might just be what's the word? More, I don't want to say business. What's the word? Professional. So it might even be a counsellor kind of person, whether that's a spiritual counsellor, whether that is a sort of recommended counsellor, you know, on from an authority. Whatever it is, it's somebody saying, you're fine as you are. You reach out. Give me your cup. Give me your emotions. Tell me your worries. Tell me what's upsetting you. And I'll give you mine. And together we can come up with a way through this. You know, we can work together. Look how alone this person is here. He's so alone. But here, you've got a buddy with you. You know, like I say, whether it's a romantic pairing or a friendship pairing or any other, it's support. And this person, more than anything, needs this support. So that's really what this is saying. Try and turn this situation, or look at this situation differently. What are you learning from it? Are you going to put yourself back in that situation, or is it now the time that you get up and you move away from this now? And yet, reach out. Definitely reach out to people, because they want to help you. It might be that they don't know how, but together you can come up with something. So pile number 2, if you need a more of an in-depth look at these, I offer spiritual coaching and counselling, and I use my cards and other tools and techniques in order to get to the nitty-gritty problem and really look at emotions. So I will link my website down below if you'd like to go and have a little look at what else I offer. That's up to you. But I hope this reading was helpful, and I hope it's given you a little bit of guidance on how to move forwards. Okay, pile number 3, the tourmaline. Okay. Right, pile number 3. Okay, this is different from the other two, which is absolutely fine. So the first thing I want to pick up on is that you chose the tourmaline. Now, the tourmaline is very, very good for banishing negativity and for protecting you. So the first thing I want you to think about before I even start this reading is who is making you feel negative and who is making you feel like you need to be protected from them. Okay, so we have the 3 of Pentacles. Now, this card is all about learning something new. It can be the card for the apprentice. It is somebody who needs to still be a little bit guided in certain areas. So it can be about work, or it may be something in other areas. But it's definitely, you feel that you need to be guided in an area. And I'm thinking that actually what it is that you're probably very competent in this area. I mean, when you look at the picture here, he's crafted all of this. You know, he has modelled. No, that's not the word, is it? Whatever the word is, he's made it look pretty. He's done all this work on his own. You know, he's standing here by himself. I don't think he does need anybody else's help. I think that's something that you believe. I think you have the tools that you need, and you have the knowledge that you need, and it's almost like a self-confidence issue. I want to say here, you are perfectly capable of doing what it is that you want to do, whether this is something to do with work, whether it's something to do with a relationship, whether it's just another area of life. You are very capable of creating that life and making it happen. But you've got yourself stuck, and you kind of envisage and you see that you can't move forwards. You know, you're blindfolded. You know, you're trapped. You are feeling just out in a storm. You know, just not. It's like your head is fuzzy, and you just can't see a way forward somehow. But when you look at this picture, actually, she can just walk straight forwards. I mean, it looks like a scarf that's binding her. It's not even ropes. You know, it doesn't look like it's something permanent and something really substantial that's binding her here. She could just slip that off and pull down her blindfold and walk straight through this path here. So what is it that's making you feel that you're not good enough and that you still need to be guided when actually you don't? And I think there's a little glimmer of belief in there that you know that you know what you're doing. But then there's this, which is bigger than that glimmer of belief. And this is saying to you, oh no, you've got to check. You've got to make sure. You might have got that wrong. You know, you're blind to what you actually can do. And this card, the Five of Wands, this is all about inner conflict. You're constantly fighting. Okay, this is making a lot more sense now. You're constantly fighting between this person here who is actually quite self-assured and he knows he can do this, and this person here who is terrified and doesn't want to see the way forward and would be just almost happier to stay in this comfort zone. And you've got all this conflict going on, all this bashing of wands to, you know, these sort of staves in tarot are called wands in most decks. Sometimes they're not, but anyway. Sorry, I digress. I feel like they're all sort of clashing with each other, you know, and you can't, again, you can't hear, you can't, your mind is in a whirl, and ideas and thoughts are popping in, and just as you feel like this guy here, you know, like, yeah, I can do this, I can whittle this stone, I can make it look exactly how I want it to look. And then you've got this one here saying, oh, but what if your tools aren't good enough? And oh, this one here, what if your design isn't good enough? And what if your skill isn't good enough? And, you know, all of these things, which is actually keeping you trapped. So I can't tell with 3 cards what the situation is that you are feeling trapped in, but I would love you to know that you need to quieten your mind, maybe with meditation, maybe through some life coaching exercises, anything along those lines, because you are this person. You do have the knowledge, you are able. You may need to still be led occasionally, but you have the skills, they are developing, and you do need to believe in yourself more, pile number 3. I offer spiritual coaching and some counselling, spiritual counselling. I use my cards, I use other techniques and tricks that I've picked up along the way, things that have helped me, ways to develop your confidence, and all sorts of other sort of spiritual skills. I'll link my website below if you want to pop on and have a little look to see what else I offer. That's completely up to you. But I hope this reading has just brought you a little bit of clarity, pile number 3. Thank you very much for watching.